Welcome to OWAD. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring ocean/industrial age concepts. And today we're going to talk about Li Lun. Li Lun. You can see simplified traditional. This Lun looks different. And if we compare that to 2000 years ago's dictionary, that's seal script. You can see the style of writing is different, right? This digitized version versus 2000 years ago is hand drawn, and it got a lot more curvature and details in it. So this is going to be where I'm going to dive in. Okay, 理论. This too, if we simplify each concept, each of them into one English corresponding concept, that would be 理 means reason, and 论 means debate. But actually, both of them got this reasoning part because 论, this debate, is made of reasoning or thinking plus speaking. We have 论, even if it's debate, right? It's think while you're speaking. That's what debate is about. And Chinese have this thinking abstracted in this way versus another reason, this 理 made the left side is the jade, and then the right side means where it come from, your living quarters. Okay, there are lots of horizontal lines and vertical lines in here. Okay, let me try to make it make sense for you. Okay. Okay, the jade first off, the three horizontal lines. Okay, this is how we write jade. Three horizontal lines connected with one vertical line, missing a dot here because that dot is a differentiator. It's not what was there physically. Without a dot, it can mean the king. And of course, the king, whoever is in power, versus the jade. It's a precious stone that's cherished by ancient Chinese, even today's Chinese culture a lot. When the two, one is power, one is aesthetics, let's say, then of course power win out. So we keep the same shape thing. Both this Yu and Wang look exactly the same. They converged. And then Wang, the king, wouldn't change. It's somebody else going to change its shape by adding this additional dot to mean, okay, this is not king anymore, this is jade. But you can see 2000 years ago, it doesn't have that extra dot. This is imitating how the jade, which was stored in a disk format, put on a string, and that once was used as a storage of jade, and jade put on a string could either be decorative purpose, it's like personal adornment, or it could be used as currency. Therefore, it came in a uniformed size, shape, so everybody kind of know the value of each thing. You don't have to, like a diamond, you have to study like through the cut, the size, the carat, and clarity, something like that, right? And then to determine the value of that diamond. No such hassle. You cut the jade into exactly the same shape and size, and then we'll regard it as similar, the same value. And so this three horizontal line connected with one vertical line, that was the historical jade. And eventually, in contemporary Chinese, it added this. But when it made it into being a particle to tell a story of a bigger picture, become part of it, and then you can see here, it only diagonalized the bottom line so that writing is easier because we write from left to right, and then when the last stroke on the left one is finished, then we're going to start on the top frame again. So there is this diagonal line imitating the writing habit. Other than that, it still retains the shape of the jade as in original. Only when it stands alone, then you can see this extra dot in there. Okay, Li is the right side. That is the farm field, which is the box, quartered. And that's how Chinese show ancient times that each household going to have a lotted land. And that's farm field. The bottom is the soil symbol. First horizontal line is the ground. Vertical line is the plant without specification what kind of plant. And then the bottom horizontal line is an indicator to draw your attention to what's surrounded the root of the plant, and that's soil symbol. It's kind of deduced. We cannot draw soil because it's everywhere. It's massive, and it's almost like a shapeless. It forms the foundation of our landscape. So to deduce that, we use something that's concrete. You can visualize easily. Okay, so the bottom is soil, the top is a farm field. And that signifies where it came from, your hood, basically, where it came from, where is your farm field. And with that paired with jade, that means to show where the jade comes from. Ancient times, the craftsmanship of jade involves to polish the jade or cut the way to cut the jade to show the inner streaks. And by showing that, probably you can, from the streaks, the patterns on the jade, you can probably decide where the jade comes from. And therefore, this showing the inside or the streaks of the jade is as if to expose what the jade is made of, where it came from. That became a kind of a comparison to what reasoning for humans is about. It's abstract, right? It's hard to describe. But by showing the quality of something or the patterns of something shown on jade, where everybody knows in ancient China, then that's the way to reason. Okay, the right side speaking symbol, we have the mouse symbol, and then we have the pointer point toward the mouse, and the second pointer to signify another attention, kind of like the soil symbol, the bottom means the indicator to draw your attention to, and this second convex shape means it's within the mouse. So in the mouse, that's another indirect way by location of things to show you that's the tongue. We didn't draw out the shape of the tongue. We only showed the location, similar as the soil symbol making, right? And then the two sound bites traveling in a diminishing order because the bottom of the frame is your first person perspective. You're at the bottom. Your viewpoint is at the bottom of the frame. And then diminishing, like further away from you by time or space. And then it's the way sound travel. So that together, it means speaking. The right side means thinking or also reasoning, is because we have 5 vertical lines bound by 2 horizontal lines, kind of a curved shape. It's the way to visually show a kind of a grid of things by extracting. It's almost like a comparable to today's columns and rows, right? And when we when we tabulate something, that's the way we already sort out how many elements, how many variables in this, and then we compute. Similar fashion, Chinese express it by 5 vertical lines with 2 horizontal lines to show you we sort out each individual thread of things. And then the top triangle is a gathering. So from a pile of things, we sort out this grid line of things. That's the way to reason. So it's like from unclarity to clarity. That's the way to reason. So when we reason or thinking through something or sorting out something, as shown visually this way, paired with speaking, is how Chinese define what is debate. When you reason and you debate, pair together. That's a Japanese scholar's translation of what theory is. Okay, let me close this. And theory simply is some individual, I guess any human who has a thinking capacity, who can theorize about something, right? To reason, to observe some patterns on something and kind of build their theory, their modeling about what's happening, what's the the thread that you can sort out on this pile or this mess. And then after you theorize that, you are able to verbally communicate that. So all that elements were covered in Li and Lun here. And that's how Japanese scholars think about what theory is about. It's a way you reason and you put it out there. I guess it's a debatable reasoning. That's your theory, because theory is theory. It doesn't mean truth, right? Otherwise, we have a truth to go with. A theory it's somebody who come up with an explainer about things, and that's one viewpoint. It can be proven wrong eventually, right? So here, Li Lun Li, the reasoning, verbalized, right, with the speaking sign, and then you sort out things, and that's debatable way of reasoning, right? Thank you for your time. See you another day.